From 54 Nights, I'm Chris.
I'm Terry.
See? Got that out of the way. It's a nice, bleary December day. I'm kind of dark over here in the corner. Here, let's let some of that gorgeous sunlight in.
Oh, I thought you meant like your soul, because sunlight's not going to help that.
Baby's got a black.
Nobody knows that song but us.
It's not true. We are RV shopping today. Not to buy, mind you. We mentioned before we shopped for a long, long time.
Years.
Not years.
Years.
It's not years. It feels like years.
It's at least 1 year.
Yeah. But that's not years.
Well, if you go over 1 year, then you can add an S to it.
I don't know about that. I think you have to go multiple years to add an S to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because then it's just a little over a year.
Yeah, you have a dark soul, so you don't know.
We've got 5 rigs we're going to look at today. Possibly, if they're still at the dealerships. We come down to the border of Texas, not Mexico, Texas.
Not Canada either.
Set up.
Oh, you said down. Okay, go ahead.
Set up camp, and now we're driving down to Fort Worth. One dealership, a Tiffin dealership. There's got, at least on their website, they've got 4 rigs that we're wanting to take a look at, kind of get a feel for. The Allegro Red 340AL and the Allegro Red 33AA. They're the same rigs. The 340AL is just a more economical version of the 33AL. And I'm wanting to look at them to not see if there's $40,000 worth of difference between the two, but see if there's a big enough difference that we would want to go with the higher end model.
Right.
Yeah. Or if the lower end model fits our needs just fine. So that's kind of what we're looking for in those two.
And the Reds have always kind of called to us for years. We've always kind of liked the Reds. Still, they're Tiffin, so television placement is dumb.
Yeah, that's the word, dumb. But those are the diesel rigs we're looking at, the 2 down here in Fort Worth. And then a pair of gas rigs we're going to look at. What is it? Tiffin Allegro Open Road. They got a big old long name. Anyway, the 32SA and I believe it's a 34PA. The 32SA has the layout similar to our current rig, Fleetwood Southwind 34A, but it's got similar layout as it. And then the 34PA is a different layout. It's got a fairly large bathroom in it with 2 entries, so I want to look at that one because the floor plan is kind of, in a way, in a roundabout way, similar to the 2 diesel rigs we're looking at. So I want to take a look at it, and of course, the 34PA, the TV location is
dumb.
Okay.
But that's one cool thing about going to see them in person. I mean, we're looking at the floor models on the flat floor models on a monitor, and it's nice being able to go in and sit down and say, well, maybe the TV really isn't that bad, or wow, this is beyond dumb. One or the other. I mean, or it could be just like exactly what we expected. So.
And after we get done with those, if we still have some time, we're going to stop in Sanger, Texas at a Winnebago dealership and go inside that 34T that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. That way we have all the rigs kind of fresh in our minds at the time, and we can kind of think about the goods and the bads.
I think it'll be a lot easier to compare when we've just been in one and we walk in another one.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll try to drag you along as much as we can. I'm not gonna pull the camera out in front of the salesman's face.
Unless he wants you to.
Unless he wants me to. There's actually some salesmen out there that are like, oh, cool, I can be on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, 5 people will see you, but it's awesome. Anyway, we'll catch you in a bit. That was enjoyable.
Cold, but it was enjoyable.
A little chilly, but we got to look at all 4 of them that we came here to look at, which
was really cool.
Was a good deal since, you know, it's in Fort Worth and we live in Oklahoma City. But we liked the 34 PA. Didn't get a whole lot of footage because
I did.
We got some pictures.
No, I got footage.
But I mean some good lit footage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we weren't lit. Oh, you mean the camper?
But they get a little bit, probably sprinkle a little bit of that in here. But the 32 SA, I forgot to look in the brochure. It doesn't look like it has a washer dryer in it, which, you know, if you recall, that the washer dryer combo is on our list of must-haves. The 34 PA, that one surprised me. I wasn't expecting to really like it a whole lot, but I really did like it. It just,
I don't see an option.
Yeah, it works. The 34 PA works, definitely works. Option it in with the dinette, with the buffet computer station type dinette, and it'd work out great.
The bathroom's nice. It's funny that on fifth wheels we aren't really crazy about bathrooms with 2 doors, but I think they look really, they're just really nice in A. I don't know what the difference is. Have you noticed that?
You know, that's a good point. That one does have 2 entry doors and we liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that washer and dryer in the bathroom is nice because if you're sleeping and you're doing your laundry, it's not going to wake you up.
As far as the diesel coaches, you know, we looked at the 340, the Allegro Red 340 AL, and then the Allegro Red 33AA. And basically, I think I already said this, but basically the difference between the two is how much money they put into the parts. Guy's giving us a funny look holding this camera up. Now he's kind of giggling at me. Yeah.
The really
laugh it up, fuzzball.
The really cool thing is they were parked right beside each other. So all the little different, you know, exact same campers with little teeny tiny differences, and we could like back, oh, did that have that?
Yeah,
We'd run back into the other
we actually walked back and forth between the 340 and the regular Red multiple times.
And did I mention it was cold?
But I think we preferred the red over the 340. They went just that much too far with the stuff that they pulled off the red to make it a 340. The step cover, the entry step cover on a front entry diesel, you know, those steps are right there in front of the passenger, and if you don't have an automated little step cover come out, then
your feet are hanging.
Yeah. Or you have to make something to put in place, which
it's doable.
Yeah, it's doable. It's just kind of a inconvenience, I suppose. And there was one other thing.
Well, the seats didn't recline. The front seats didn't recline.
Well, they reclined. They didn't have the footrest,
right, the
recliner footrests on it.
Which
even the passenger seats.
Yeah, even the passenger seat, even our little Fleetwood.
Yeah. I think that's probably the key there. They took away enough on that red that it made it less equipped than our gas coach, which to me says they went that much too far. Just a little too far with it. But yeah, I like that red 33AA. That one is on the list.
You know, one interesting difference between the two that are almost identical is the windows. The new Tiffin windows that are so beautiful. They have a recess behind the what would you call that? The
galley.
Yeah, but the fake. The
backsplash.
Yeah, there's a recess where it goes back to the window, and it's really would be inconvenient to own, I'm sure, because it's going to get dirty back there and it's hard to clean. But it's really pretty. It looks really fancy and nice. And the cheaper version, the 3340, is that right?
The
34.
The 340.
The 340. Okay, I was close. The 340 actually had kind of the same window, but didn't have the backsplash, so it actually was more convenient as far as cleaning and stuff. I really think it make a difference.
It looked cheaper. I mean, honestly, it looked cheaper, but it also looked easier to maintain.
Way easier, not just a little bit easier.
Yeah,
way easier.
But if we got enough time, I got to stop and get me something to drink, and if we've got time, we're going to stop and take a look at the Winnebago on the way back, just to compare it. You know, it's the one we've looked at before, but
we're going to make time.
Yeah,
we're going to do this. It's 4. No, it's not 4 o'clock. Okay. Okay.
All right. McLean's RV in a town that I can only assume that all the country vocalists are born in. Sanger, Texas.
Oh no. Okay, delete that. Start over. Welcome to 54 Nights RV. Start right there.
Took another look at the Winnebago Forza 34T. It's one we looked at a few weeks ago, but you know, we wanted to keep this one. Wanted to look at it again while we had the Tiffins in our minds. What did you think? I mean, I know what we told the salesman, but what did you really think?
It was doable. Yeah, I mean, I think I could do it. I don't, though. I mean, we would have to upgrade to a king-size bed, which would make it very hard to make the bed. When I was saying that's a big thing, I wasn't saying just putting the bed in. I was saying
making it,
dealing with it after it's in.
Because it would basically turn into a Class C corner type bed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Forza comes with the queen bed. When the slide comes in, when the bedroom slide comes in, it comes up to the edge of the bed, so you can't really add a king-size mattress and go that way with it, so it all has to go towards one wall, which would basically put it up against that wall. So
big wall underneath the window.
But and if you remember, king-size bed was one of our requirements, so
I would almost say that's our number one requirement. Maybe that's after size.
Her number one requirement.
Okay. Does that make it a number one requirement, right?
Exactly. We've covered this.
I had a good experience today all around.
Yeah, I mean,
I was a little worried when the manager came inside when we were looking at that camper.
Yeah.
And he had that used car. I mean, maybe he was nice. We only saw him for a second, but he had that used car look to him. But other than that, we liked everybody we've dealt with today.
I feel kind of guilty though.
Why?
The salesman, super nice guy. I mean, he really was a nice guy. I'm cautious about saying that about salesmen. If you're a salesman, I apologize, but you guys are kind of
dishonest.
Yes. In general, not all of you.
Okay.
Just the ones we deal with. But, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Mostly.
Most of the time. No, this guy was nice. I mean, and very, very helpful. He had just gotten back from Winnebago, so he had all sorts of good information about Winnebago.
Yeah, we could say, what's this button? He'd say, oh, it does this, which that's impressive.
Yeah.
If you guys have done a lot of RV buying or looking, you would know most of them will either make something up or they have no clue.
Yeah. And I'm very, very helpful. Really nice guy. I mean, but when he came up to us, when we walked in the door, one of the first things he wanted was name and address and email and phone number.
Don't do that to us first off, because we don't know you yet, and we don't know if we want to give you that information.
And then at the end of the day, we feel guilty if you're a nice guy, because I gave you a very bogus address. The only real thing I gave him was an email address. And that was 54nightsrv@gmail.com. So I'll probably email him later because
he was a nice guy.
I just feel bad.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. And really overall the whole experience there at the dealership was great. I mean, you combine that with the other dealership, Vots or Voits, or I'm going to look it up and learn how to pronounce it.
They would be glad.
Yeah, it was a good day of shopping.
I'd be happy to go to either place.
Yes, yeah. But as far as comparing the Red to the Forza
had a heck of a lot of base storage space compared to the Red.
Oh, just a real quick interjection here. The Winnebago has some weight issues. We'll go into it in a future video when we start talking about the 5 rigs that we've looked at a little bit more in depth. But that Winnebago, it's really kind of out of the equation because it does have some weight issues. Just because it has all that luggage space doesn't mean you can load it up. You know, that's true on a lot of RVs, but we'll touch on that in a future video. I just thought I'd throw that out there right now.
I mean, big time. The Red probably had more storage inside, a little bit.
I don't know. I think that Forza had a lot of inside storage. I think the Red had better bathroom storage. Maybe that's what you're thinking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And really, we've looked at it before and we liked it. It is kind of a basic appearing camper inside. None of the Vegas glitz and, you know, LED light strips everywhere and shiny cabinets, which, I mean, you guys know that that's not something that we prefer. So the Forza actually, I think I said it fits our personality better.
Yeah, it's shorter though, which I think we mentioned when we talked about the last time we looked at it. It's short. The ceiling is shorter, so it feels not as.
It feels smaller because your head's closer to the ceiling.
Yeah. Now the flip side of that is you get that base storage. You know, that's part of where you get the base. The whole thing is actually shorter than an average RV, but you also get more. You're up higher. Your floor is up higher, and you get more base storage.
Yeah. But I was really expecting. I mean, honestly, we just got done looking at Tiffin's, and I was really expecting to see like a big quality drop as far as look
No, there
appearance.
wasn't. I don't think there was a
You know?
quality drop.
No, there wasn't. Really, from my impressions, the difference between the Tiffin and the Winnebago was just the shine.
And I don't like the shine, but I do. I mean, one thing I don't like about the Winnebago, and I'm not against the Winnebago. I do like it. I do. Is when we walk inside our camper, it's like, wow, this is so nice. Not that I'm not talking about glitz. I'm just talking about it just feels really awesome. It just feels homey. And this doesn't not feel homey, because some campers are just a straight line and they don't feel homey. This one's not like that, but I kind of like ours better, I think, looks wise, just feel wise.
So as far as emotion evoking, you prefer the red over the Winnebago.
As far as that by itself,
right?
Not everything, but that by itself, yeah. Did it have a fire? Yeah, it did have a fire. Oh, yeah, it did have a fireplace. It had the picture frame around the fireplace. It looks like it's just a frame, but it looks like a picture frame.
Busy day, busy fun day. I don't know that our minds were made up over anything really today, other than we just added more data.
We did. There was one thing we scratched off our list, but we would have scratched it off once we noticed anyway. Didn't have a washer and dryer.
Yeah, the Tiffin, the 32 SA, the gas coach, no washer and dryer, no option for it, no go.
And I think we've pretty much decided the red is better than the cheaper version. I mean, the
red.
Two identicals.
Yeah. Comparing the red to just the regular red to the red 340, the red.
So out of 5, we found 3 that we would be perfectly happy in.
Yeah.
It's pretty good and a little scary because then decision making.
34 PA on the gas end of it, and the Winnebago Forza 34T, and the Tiffin Allegro Red 33AA. All 3 are on the list.
Yep.
We can write them down on the list.
Yep. And we know what we dislike and what we really like about every single one of those.
You know, it's always fun shopping. Just, there's certain quirks that every sales person has. You know, whether they're really good people or they're the guys with the nicotine stained teeth and the big gold necklaces.
That was actually a Jeep salesman.
Yeah, it was. It doesn't matter, but they all have these little quirks, like telling you why this product is superior to that product, and just giving you some anecdotal story about how they saw, you know, we saw one come in the door the other day that was, oh my gosh. You get that, and it's almost like watching the TV news at 6 o'clock. You're not sure if they're exaggerating or they're telling the truth.
Yeah, or if it never happened at all.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of that.
And I like that to a point. When we were car shopping, I actually liked asking the salesman, why should I buy this Ford instead of that Chevy? And let him tell us. And then the Chevy guy asked the same question. It's kind of an interesting, to hear what they have to say, and then you can balance it out and look into things. Usually just what they have is called something different than what the other person has.
Yeah. So, anyway, that was our
day so far.
Our day of RV shopping. I think we're going to go back to the camper and take a short break and
Go win some money at the casino.
Go donate some money to the Indians.
Yeah, donate's probably more like it.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're giving people.
We are, especially this time of year, holiday season.
Merry Christmas. As haphazard as this video was with our RV shopping, I hope something that we said may have been helpful or at least made you giggle. Just anyway.
And not cringe.
Yeah. With all that, we got a Texas State Trooper over here watching us drive down the highway. Or he's checking Facebook, I'm not sure which. We'll catch y'all down the trail.
Bye-bye. Lights behind us. Hurry, run, faster.